In the house, Mr. Tim Sykes. Tim,
what's up?
Welcome aboard. Welcome back.
How's it going? Thanks, guys.
Okay, so let me just...
We definitely have to film the breaks, okay?
Oh, yeah. So let me just say one thing about Tim Sykes. If it wasn't for Tim Sykes, I would have no reason ever to be on Facebook. Okay?
Well, I'm not on Facebook, and I might because I'm tired of peering over his shoulders to see all your pictures.
If it wasn't for Tim Sykes...
Where the hell is this SOB now?
What?
Where the hell is this SOB now? In Maldives, he's in Vegas.
Somebody has to help the Facebook stock, so I'm trying to brace
so
it.
I do.
I'm trying.
I've seen your tweets on that too, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with you on somewhat on your last. You do some really fun rants, and I'm not going to get into your rants because that's our whole shtick, and I think you're
Yes, I won't steal your rants.
Yeah, don't steal my rants. Right. But your rants are funny, really funny.
Good.
And
Thanks.
but I think so here's my Tim Sykes, because I've been thinking about this interview for a couple days now.
Oh.
When you told me you're coming to Chicago, I'm like, you know what? Should I have Tim on or not? Because and I'm a huge I first met Tim when he was like about, I don't know, 5 or 7 years ago. I don't remember. He was like, he was just started to shave, and he had written the first book. He was the most brash young kid ever walked in my office before that kid we have as the child actor now. Mm-hmm. And you were so funny, and you were so excited about this business. And one of the things that you've done, which is for good or bad, you are a classic engager. In other words, people just they may up. Half the people hate you, half the people love you, and whatever the case is, you don't give a crap.
Yeah.
You're just engaging people, and I think that's neat because ultimately they trickle down and they find us.
Yeah. No, it's true.
No,
finance is boring. Let's get that straight.
Yeah, I agree.
So by focusing on the rewards, what I've learned, I can make like a 45-minute video, like very technical, like why I think this stock is a good buy or whatever. I get, a few likes. Facebook is great to judge what people like, what your audience likes. So I get a few likes, but I've worked my butt off on this video, and I'm like, what's going on? Then I post a picture of me test driving a new Ferrari, and I get 200 likes. And there's a big debate over which car I should get. I got a place in Miami, so I'm looking at getting either Ferrari or Lambo. That's what people like.
A Lambo. Those in the know call it
Lambo.
Lambo. You're talking about Green Bay, Wisconsin, right?
In Chicago, we talk about Lambo. It's Lambeau Field, okay? Don't come to the Midwest.
Okay.
Don't come to Midwest with your Miami shtick, okay?
Lamborghini for you Midwesterners, okay?
You can't even fit a Lamborghini.
Okay. I actually can. I just test drove it, and it was really nice. I've lost 20 pounds. I've been on a health kick. Thanks. I try. But, to teach, that's what I want to do. I want to teach. But to get people really interested, you have to show the rewards. So I travel a lot. I show, look, I'm trading from the beach. People don't realize you can trade
really
from anywhere.
Matters?
I don't care. I think I would be happy trading from a hotel just as from the beach. But for people, they need to see different angles. They need to see what's possible with trading. Because most jobs, 99.9% of jobs, you can't travel. Okay? With trading, you can, and I think that we should show it more. You can do it from anywhere in the world. When I'm on a beach, literally, I was in Mexico at this beautiful beach, Capella.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this beautiful something else. You said beach.
The Cabos, right? Top 50 hotel in the world, perfect Wi-Fi, and I'm trading, and I make $2,000 in the morning. It pays for, the whole day and more, and that's a great
Dude, we've been doing this for 30 years, okay? But you're not married. You don't have, I'm just telling you, you haven't.
Is that why you lost the 20 pounds? You got that reality TV
I'm just being healthier. I have to go film on a beach in the Maldives in 2 weeks. So. And it's
you
good
don't
to
have that reality TV girl
it's good
in
to
your
be healthy.
apartment there for Fashion Week?
How do you know this? What?
I got it.
I was talking in the studio. You guys have
he comes over. He looks over my shoulder. So we have. I only because I have limited time.
Yeah.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
There is a very thin line between exploitation. Like, for example, Miss Penny stock, or you getting on a private jet, or you going to some hotel in the Maldives, or, whatever it is, or you buying a Lambo Ferrari combo, the first one ever made.
Yeah.
There's a very thin line between, whether you're totally serious, whether you're fooling around, whether you're, whether it really is this. See, I think you turn you almost, to a certain extent, you do you're a shock.
It's shock and awe. No, that's what it is.
It's
and it turns people off. It turns some people off. It definitely does.
Turns people off, but at the same time,
but it turns a lot of people on. I mean, it's a question of how many people can I teach and how to inspire them. I can have a small fan base if I just did all technical stuff, and I could wear glasses and I wouldn't travel, and it would be very good, and I would have a huge content library, very technical. I already have a huge content library. I have 700 video lessons. I work my butt off with my teaching, but it's all about getting more and more students. I have over 2,200 students now, and without all of these, superficial things, I'm
let's
probably
talk about
looking at
this.
like 1,000 students. So I choose more students.
Okay, so fine, and I'm cool with that. Again, as long as people know what, like I'm totally fine with the whole shock and awe thing. In fact, I think it worked for for example, like Howard Stern's The World. I think it was his movie, which I always thought was funny. They always said more people that didn't like him watched than people that liked him.
Exactly.
Which is, I think,
100%.
you get the same kind of, which to me, listen, if you're what it takes to engage a consumer audience in this business, then that's what it takes. It doesn't, the traditional stuff like the CNBCs, it doesn't work.
Well, if I had nothing behind it, it would be bad, because then it's just like I'm doing it for ego, I'm doing it for attention.
Sure.
I'm doing it for a specific reason. Miss Penny Stock, it's fun to judge models
whatever.
And see, and it got me in page 6.
Is it fun? Enjoy yourself?
It's very fun. I had 8 of my best friends, and we're judging girls. We're asking what is a PE ratio, and the girls have, no idea. But we're going to teach them, the winners. We still have to announce it. Get ready to vote.
I'm just kidding.
We're going to teach. I'm dedicated to teaching. That's the one constant. No matter what I post, I am always dedicated to
that.
my
next thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are, like I said, I've known you since you were early 20s. Yeah. You are an extremely bright, extremely aggressive, an amazing young entrepreneur.
Appreciate it.
Why are you still focused on the bullshit world of penny stocks?
Because there's opportunity for the smallest of investors and traders. For example, I'll announce one of the winners that I'm taking to the Maldives. I'm taking 2 students. This one girl, Kristen Guramazio, she has only a $10,000 account.
No last names.
Okay.
Kristen
okay. G, whatever, right? She's a great girl. She has a $10,000 account. She just made $4,000 on, look up ticker NTE, Nancy Thomas Edward, Namtai Electronics, right? This is a sleepy manufacturer, Chinese manufacturer, but it spiked from the 6s to the 11s on a Seeking Alpha article because they're announcing a new factory in September. They might have the Apple contract for tablets. We don't know 100%. But Seeking Alpha pumped this up. This thing doubled inside of 2 weeks. You don't have that kind of predictability. And they announced it on a contract, on a earnings call, where was it? All the way to the left of your chart. You see a little spike.
Yeah, you got it right here.
So what are you saying? She
August
bought
6th?
the stock or she sold the stock?
She bought the stock. So sometimes I buy stocks too. I'm known for short selling, but sometimes this was good. I bought this at 675. I sold it too early in the 7s, but she held. So when you have a possible, 50% return, right? And she was aggressive. I don't say go all in.
I don't consider that trading.
What do you consider that? Gambling?
Yeah, it's actually worse than gambling, because I don't think there's at best, in the end, you're going to end up 50. Like to me, trading is strategic.
I win 70, but I have over 2,000 trades. I win 72% of the time. I know past performance is not indicative of future returns, but when you have these inefficiencies, this was inefficiency. On their conference call, they said, look, we're moving up the factory opening from November to September. The stock spiked for a day, then everybody forgot about it. Then the last few days of August, everyone's like, oh, September's coming up, the factory's opening, it could be an Apple contact. No one notices. No one cared about this company, but I cared about it because it was a runner back in 2003. It went from 8 to 40. So penny stock runners from the past often become penny stock runners of the future when they have an upcoming catalyst. So you have a specific catalyst, you have a low float stock, the PE is only 10, it's Chinese, so it's a little sketchy, but you have an opportunity. So when you're buying it on the breakout, which I did at 675, the risk, you might lose 10 or 20 cents. I didn't expect there to be $5 of upside. I expected like $2 of upside, but it's all about finding superior risk reward. So if you have a stock with 20 cents of downside and $2 of upside with a specific catalyst, that's good odds. It's just good odds.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
But here's the thing for me. I think you're an outlier. I think you're outside of the curve. You are that really small percentage that has found this little niche. I do not think that you can.
But I'm not doing anything special. This was just a conference call that I listened to.
Anything special?
Anybody can listen to the conference call. The number is posted freely on the internet.
But if your success rate is 70%, okay, let's just say it's 70%.
And my students are 67%. That's why I created a website to track all my students. They have 19,000 trades now.
But if you go over time and you look at a sample of millions and millions of penny stock trades, the statistical chance of getting over 50-50 is 0. So in other words, the statistical chance of getting, and I'm just throwing out like a gazillion numbers to you, okay? The statistical chance of getting over 50-50 is 0. So when you do this and you get to 70%, you're an outlier.
But what about when you focus on specific situations like this with upcoming catalysts and good technical analysis?
Situations.
But there's specific ones where, you know, the stock has a PE of 10. It hasn't budged very much.
You believe in randomness?
I believe in randomness, but I also believe in the power of hype. And penny stocks have the most hype. And that's why
no idea where you are on that randomness rotation.
But look at Keno. Keno has the worst odds in the casino, and everyone still plays Keno. Why would you play Keno?
You shouldn't ever play Keno.
Lots of people do. You should never go to a casino, theoretically, unless you're a numbers counter, but casinos are huge.
Unless you go for fun, right.
So penny stocks are A, fun, B, it's like a whole experience to learn about the manipulation and see, wow, these people are manipulating it. Like, look at the power of seeking alpha. Yeah. Look at what's going on. It's a great educational tool. And C, there are profits. And I trust you, when I'm like 60 and I'm back here in the studio and I'm like, I told you, Tom, after 100,000 trades, I'm still winning 72%. And I don't know what you're going to say to that.
I'm going to tell you that you're an outlier.
Okay.
That you have, because of the way your brain works and the way you're driven to whatever level of success.
But I think I can teach that.
You may be able to teach it on a really small scale. Ultimately, you're all I'm saying. This is why I'm challenging you. Because this show sucks if I don't challenge you.
I love that.
So because you are one of my favorite people in this. You have been since you walked in the office the first time. I used to tell people about you. You were one of my favorite stories because you were said to me, and you had no idea this is what you were going to turn into.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
And you said to me, I'm going to be like the greatest thing since sliced bread, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this kid, I like where he's coming from.
That's the thing. So I have an outlier story. I agree with you on that. You know, turning a few thousand to a few million. But I think I can teach that to other people.
It'll get diluted, and because what you're teaching is not sustainable. So over time,
it's not scalable.
It's not scalable.
I can have 20,000 students. I don't think I can have 200,000 students.
It's not scalable.
I know I can't have 2 million students.
There's such a thing. We call it number of occurrences.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is over a certain number of occurrences, there's a certain level of dilution that takes place that's going to bring you right back to the mean, which is 50-50. Because you're not teaching a strategy that, like you said, it's not scalable. I don't think it's sustainable on a different level. I think there's always outliers. And you are that. And there may be, if you look at it from purely statistically, there may be, talking about the size of space, there may be enough room for 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people that can actually live in this space.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that, again, I don't believe it's sustainable because I do believe that in the end it ends up as 50-50.
But you have to try, because think about trading. 90% of traders lose. So if my space, maybe it's not as scalable, but if I can teach people how to cut losses quickly and look for superior risk reward, I'm doing good. I've done the right thing, and that's all I'm trying to do. Whether or not I'm successful in the long run, we'll see.
Well,
it's to be determined.
Here's what I was going to say to you, and I want you to come back on the show because I want to see. I'm suggesting to your talent and your ability to market and engage people and just get people, because of your lightning rod, which is the coolest thing. And you have so many and you're not afraid to be wrong, which is amazing. If you take this to the next level, which is you get strategic, start to incorporate different derivative strategies and your focus is on, hey, if I'm right 70% of the time now, what if I learn strategies to lower my cost basis and increase my chances of success?
Yeah.
Okay. You could reach 100,000 people.
But
that's the difference.
Trades
that's why he's got to grow. He's got to grow.
But I wish I had time. I'm getting 3,000 emails a day now because I've been successful, because my students have been successful.
But you have to realize.
I have to clone myself.
Stop catting around at night.
You can clone yourself now. I just read a story. You can actually clone yourself, and you could be the first one.
How much?
What?
How much does it cost? I'll do it.
I don't know.
I'll take the dare.
I don't know if it's actually
I'll take
legal
the dare right now.
You can leave one home.
We'll go to Costa Rica. I'm sure there's a doctor there that can do it or something.
I'm not sure we're ready to clone you.
Senor Sykes, bienvenido a Costa Rica. Sí, clone.
Dude, we take you to a different level, and you'll be great for this business. Not that you're just right now. You're interesting. You're a character.
I appreciate that. I know what you're saying, and you've been saying it for a while. But
my story's never changed with respect to you.
No, I understand.
Yeah, I'll never trade a penny stock. I'll never do. I think what you do is bullshit.
NTE was like 675.
Unless the penny stock is Zynga, then we'll trade that.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I just see so much opportunity, and I see the ability. Some of my students are doing better than me, which is awesome, and they're becoming self-sufficient.
They're all outliers, which is cool. You've created a niche.
I've created a little group of outliers. Yeah. That's cool. I don't know. know. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep racing my Ferraris. I got nauseous racing Ferraris though the other day, so I can't even go that fast.
You're a Jewish kid from New York.
Yeah. Don't forget. You're supposed to be a pastrami sandwich.
Someone emailed me. They're like, Tim, you're the worst rich guy ever, and I'm like,
seriously,
I don't know how to do this. Like, I can't even wear this Rolex. One of my students gave me this, and it's like I lost weight, and so now it's like flopping around. Like I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to change the time.
Hey, do me a favor.
It says like it's 8:50.
I hope everything else hasn't shrunk on you like your wrists have since you lost weight.
Take it off.
It's okay. I appreciate.
Say, hey, here, this is for you.
I appreciate your concern.
Tim, awesome, man. I love having you on because you are so
rich is a
good.
relative term.
That's right. Talk to you soon, man.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
We're back in 90 seconds with our bootstrappers, Mike and Mark. Bright tag. We're back in 90 seconds.